Hey everybody, I wanted to talk about adding and subtracting radicals. So let me come over here. Adding and subtracting radicals. Now some of you may be asking, what is a radical? A radical just means like the square root stuff. So when we see that little square root symbol, it could be cube root, so it could have a 3 here or a 4 there or whatever. But right now we're going to stick with the square roots. So radicals, so let me give you an example. If I had the square root of 3 plus 5 root 3. Now here's one thing you'll notice. What's underneath the square root is the same. We can only add or subtract radicals or square roots or cube roots or whatever if the number underneath the square root is the same. If they're not the same, we cannot add or subtract them. And we're going to do this process the same way we would add like terms. So to give you an example down here, if I said x plus 5x, okay, we would say x and 5x are like terms because they have the same x with the same exponent. So x and 5x gives me 6x. So all we do is take the number in the front, and here there'd be like a 1 here. So we would take the coefficient of 1 and 5 and just add those to get 6. We're going to do the same thing with the square root problem up here. Again, there's kind of an understood 1 here. So 1 root 3 plus 5 root 3 is just 6 root 3. So again, when the number underneath the square root is the same, we just add the numbers in front or subtract depending on what you're doing. So let's try another problem. If I said 7 root 2 minus 2 root 2. Now again, the first question here is, can we subtract these? And the answer is yes, because the number underneath the square root here is a 2, and the same thing there. So we can, because again, the number underneath the square root is the same. So again, we're just going to do 7 minus 2. So 7 minus 2, which is 5, and attach the square root of 2. So again, it's just like adding or subtracting like terms. Now, I did want to do one more example. So let's say we have 5 root 3 minus 5 root 2. Now, the question is, can we subtract those? Now, we do both have the 5s, but the number underneath the square root is not the same. So if we come here, the number here is a 3, and the number here is a 2. Since those are not the same, we cannot subtract them. Even if it was adding, it wouldn't matter if it was adding them or subtracting. We cannot do that unless the number here is the same. Now these are basic examples. I'm going to do another video where we may have to reduce the radicals before we add or subtract, because sometimes you can do that. But just wanted to go over the basic parts of this. Again, you can only add or subtract if the number underneath the square root is the same. All right, guys, have a good day.